Hey everyone, Crafty Crocheter. So I thought I'd just do like a little whip session here. So right now I am working on the granny squares for the Marrakesh blanket. I'm just starting on a new one, and I have 6 of these done so far. So these are turning out really beautiful. And then I also have 2 of the octagons done. So I'm going to work on the granny squares first, and then I'm going to do the half granny squares, and then I'm gonna work the corner granny squares, which is the quarter granny squares, so that way I can, before I move on to the rest of the octagons, so that way, which I did last time, so it turned out to be a good idea with that. So I hope everyone's day's going well today. So what are y'all up to today? So any new fun crocheting projects that you're working on currently, or any future projects that you're gonna work on, or are you formulating any ideas of what kind of projects you want or what you want to do? And speaking of this project, I've gotten several comments on my channel and my Instagram page about wanting the pattern for this blanket. Unfortunately, I cannot give that out because it is copyrighted, and there have been several other channels that have been given tutorial videos for using Janie Crow's copyrighted pattern without her permission, and she's called out a few of them. I've seen a few of them out there too. I'm not going to be one of those people that's going to call out name bomb people, but I do see that online. So I would just be careful of using any kind of free patterns that are on there, because I'm guilty. I did use one the first time I worked some of the octagons and the granny squares, and the pattern that they give does not reflect the actual pattern that Janie has for sale on her Ravelry and Etsy stores. So, and as I mentioned in my post, I've suggested that if you want the pattern, just go to one of her 2 stores and just purchase the pattern yourself. I mean, I think I only paid about $7 American for the pattern from her Ravelry store. So, because originally I was thinking about doing tutorial videos as well, but then I realized that maybe I don't think that's right, because again, it's a copyrighted pattern and it wouldn't be fair to Janie to miss out on the potential revenue from the pattern. And plus, it's copyrighted, so I could possibly get in trouble for that. So I'm going to avoid that at all costs. And as you can tell right now, it's a little rainy outside. It's not raining per se. It's more like a wet, damp, overcast day right now. And yeah, but once I get all these granny squares done and the half granny squares and the corner granny squares with quarter, I call them quarter because they're at the quarter of the actual granny square itself, or of the full size one. But and if you're interested in the yarn I'm using for this particular pattern, I can post that in the description on this, because it's not copyrighted as far as the yarn is concerned. Just using all the yarn I'm using for this particular blanket is the I Love This yarn from Hobby Lobby stores, but the colors I can disclose in the description, so that way y'all know what I'm using. Alright, so I'm doing round 2 of the granny square right now. I thought I'd come up here to my crocheting room because, again, I did put all the time and effort into moving all these stuff that was up here and then moving things around and setting everything up. So, because before I would just be crocheting in my living room near my TV, and I was starting to feel that the TV was kind of distracting. And I mean, even though I can just zone out into my work and have the TV going on in the background, but I just felt that since I actually wanted to have a dedicated space for my crafting and crocheting, I just thought, why not just start using it. But the only downfall of this particular location is that during the warmer months, it does get hot up here because, again, the hot air rises, and I'm in an attic room, so. But I make do. I just deal with it. I just put fans on me or open the window or something like that because the AC doesn't work well up here. Yeah, so if y'all watched the my last video on the reveal of this room, I mentioned about this is my husband's mess. So technically, we're not married yet. We're in the process of getting married. So, and we want to get married before you know who decides to change the laws. But I won't get political here because my mom and dad always told me that there are 3 things that you want to avoid talking about in a mixed crowd: politics, religion, and sex. Well, wealth would be a 4th one if you count wealth as well, but those 3, especially politics, you do not want to express your opinions or views in a mixed crowd because you never know. So that's why I avoid talking about anything political or potentially controversial. So I'm here to spread my message about crocheting and my love of crocheting. And whatever I decide to divulge, I'll divulge, and then that's it. Like yesterday, when I was panning the room to my whiteboard, I had a magnet of Ohio and then the Akron, Ohio, and the my area code. Because in my past videos I never mentioned where exactly I reside. So, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm sure that y'all are not gonna try to stalk me or anything like that, or trying to be outside my window throwing little pebbles at the windows, or standing outside my living room windows. So I don't foresee that happening. All right, so I'm almost done with the second round of this square. And I was thinking to just imagine a blanket just composed entirely of these squares, like different color schemes and different yarns and everything. I think this would look wonderful as its own blanket without the octagons and the half grainy squares and so forth. And I did propose also that I was going to work another one of these blankets, but in a peacock color scheme. Thinking that would look really nice because I got inspiration for that from the peacock amigurumi project I did for my husband, because he likes peacocks, and so I decided, I found a pattern online that I really enjoyed working with, and so I made him one. So, and I am in the process of getting all of the color scheme together, and where I want to place the yarn, the colors and so forth, and the octagons and the grainy squares and so forth. So, all right, so I'm done on round 2. Let's snip this off real quick. And I'm not sure if I mentioned these scissors. I think I did in one of my earlier videos, but this is the. I'm not an affiliate for this. I just like to use these scissors because it's Carbo Titanium. I don't remember the actual. I think it's Weston or something like that because of the W. But I got these at Walmart for $15, and these are really sharp. So, and I've cut myself with these, so I have to be careful when I'm actually cutting yarn really close to my fingers. So I gotta really pay attention, unless you want to slice a fingertip off or something, which would not be a pleasant thing. So I'm moving on to the third color of this. And the yarn for this, I did bring up in one of my yarn haul videos. I think it was the Michaels and Hobby Lobby yarn haul, and the one bag with all the Hobby Lobby yarn. That is the yarn I'm using for this blanket, but I can go over the colors again just in case you missed it. So moving on to the third round now. So let me get this one corner done, and then I will go over those colors so that way y'all know what colors I'm using for the pattern. in case you want to make this as well when and if you actually purchase the pattern, because again, I'm not going to give it out because it's copyrighted, so you need to buy the pattern. And so I'm not sure though if it would be within, what's the word I'm looking for, restrictions perhaps, to give tips if someone's asking about how to work the pattern. I'm not sure if Jeannie would have an issue with that. I'm thinking as long as I don't give away the pattern, I think it'd be all right, but I'm not sure yet. I may have to ask her directly. And then, what was I going to say? There was something else I was going to mention in regards to that. I'm sure it'll come to me. Oh yeah, and I've heard also that I think she doesn't have a problem with people selling her blankets if you finish the blanket and then you want to sell it on your online stores. I think I've heard that she's all right with that as long as you give her credit for the design. But again, I'm going to ask her directly just in case, just to cover my butt and to avoid any potential legal issues. I mean, once you get the knowledge for the granny squares down, these work out pretty quickly. All right, so, and one of the comments from one of my subscribers, she was saying I should go more into detail about myself, what kind of tools I like to use, what kind of yarns I like to use. So, and I think I got a comment too for my craft room video about the what kind of crochet hooks I like to use. Let me work this last corner, then I will show you, because I do have, I'm working with one of my favorites right now. Oh, and the crochet hook I'm using for this project is a G. So let me pull this up real quick. And this is from Yarnology. This is Hobby Lobby's brand, and this is a G size crochet hook for the project. In the pattern itself, I think there's you have to use an E, a 4.5, and a G, but I just used a G hook throughout the entire process. Same with the last Marrakesh blanket. And let me go over, and over here I do have an array of crochet hooks. I know I have a problem. So, and this is a really cool kit that I purchased off of Amazon, and this is really perfect for if I'm traveling and if I want to take my crochet hooks with me. So I have all of my crochet hooks in here, a B all the way to J. This is a K, and this is another Yarnology H hook, and then I got a couple like the old school crochet hook from Boy, BOYE, and these ones here, like this one here, this is from an offshoot company, and a G is a 4.0, but this they have as a 4.5, so I would just treat this as a 4.5. I did recently purchase some other crochet hooks. I got the Prim crochet hooks. I may do a review with this, and I also got some crochet hooks from Dollar Tree, and I got some Tunisian crochet hooks that I can review too. I got, all right, so okay, and then I also have some more. I know I'm just rambling on, but I'm just going through all of my well, not all of them, but then I also got some more crochet hooks down here. I got some ergonomic ones here, and I got a couple other ones here. Then I got some sewing needles in here, measuring tape. I got some stitch markers and some needles and things like that in here. So this is from, what's the brand name? Tmoy. I guess it's an offshoot brand. I got this off of Amazon. So if you are looking for a travel case for your crochet hooks and knitting needles and anything like that, go with this. This is really great because it zips up. So here, and I also got some of these. These are these plastic ones I got, because the reason I got this kit was because of the 25mm crochet hook for a real chunky yarn, but I haven't used it yet. then I also got this kit here. The reason I got this was because of the ergonomic handle for the bigger sizes, like 9.0, 10s, 8, 7, which I use for like thicker yarns. Yes, I do, and I'm a bit of an organizational person. Some may call it OCD, but I like everything neat and tidy, so that way I know what things are. And all right, so that's enough about that. So let's go back to the project here. So where am I here? Oh yes. I'm on the second side of the third round of this. So hopefully y'all enjoying this so far. I'm just shooting from the hip of what I'm discussing and talking about. And see, right now, yesterday was the first day of autumn, and autumn is my favorite season because you got the leaves changing, you got Halloween on October, and then you got Thanksgiving in November. So it's just the perfect balance of heat and cold. But then it's one of those seasons where you feel cozy, get like a hot cup of coffee or hot chocolate or tea, and you're under a blanket, crocheting or watching television or movies. So I just love fall. Fall is like one of my favorite is my favorite season. And of course my favorite holiday is Halloween, because I just love Halloween. Don't know why, I just love it. And for all of and in case you were wondering, in my last video I briefly mentioned about my pagan supplies. Yes, I am pagan or a Wiccan. I have been so since I was 22, so, and I'm 48 now, so it's over 20 some odd years, of course, on and off, because I've been practicing quite some time, but I still honor the gods, the goddess, and so forth. So, and so all of my pagan friends, happy belated Maybone. So, and then next coming up is Samhain or Halloween. So I'm gonna probably do my solitary ritual this year and read the tarot cards and see what the next year is going to bring for the world and for myself. Let's see what else. Let me finish this one part here. And another tool that I cannot live without when I'm crocheting is this thing. This is a row counter or a stitch counter, however you want to use it. I love using this, especially for larger projects and amigurumi projects, especially if we're working in the rounds and you don't know which round you're on or which row you're on. It's simple. I just slip it over the finger and then you just press this button here. And then it tells you what row you're on, and then you just push the button for each row you're done. And then if you want to reset it, there's a reset button to the side, and then it turns back to 0. But again, not necessary, but it is a lifesaver. And then also another one of my favorite stitch markers, because again, if you're working with amigurumi especially, these are really beneficial. And I do have some over here for when I work the octagons, because for this project, because you need to mark off, there are certain parts of the project of these where you have to mark off the center of the trio of stitches within the same stitch. So stitch markers come in real handy for situations like that, or just wherever you need to mark your stitches. Oh, dang it. I got caught on something. There we go. Again, I like everything neat and organized, and there we go. Again, so my go-to crochet hook are the ergonomic ones like this, because again, I have larger hands and it just fits nice and easy, and it's comfortable for me whenever I'm crocheting, and I don't have to worry about any hand cramping or potential carpal tunnel or anything like that. And a good pair of scissors, obviously, because you need something sharp too. Then I also use needle like pins for, again, for amigurumi, and then I have some yarn needles for like the embroidery or sewing in, weaving in ends, which for some may be a daunting task, especially for a larger project like a blanket, because you have to weave in every single end and just ensure that the blanket doesn't come apart or that your project doesn't unravel or come apart. And with my Marrakesh blanket I completed, I still have to weave in ends. Again, a lot of people don't like to weave in the ends because it's a daunting task, and so I usually tend to weave in as I go along. Like with these granny squares here, I usually try to weave in my ends as I'm going along, so that way the job's already done for you. But then there is a shortcut that I use too, where I do the chain two, pinch and pull method, and that creates that secure knot. So then you can just snip off the yarn closest to the knot as possible. That again, that will eliminate the weaving in part. But if you want the extra security, then you want to weave in ends as well, just in case if the knot would ever come undone. So yes, and I have some thought processes about the scarf tutorial I'm doing, so I just have to work on that some more today. I may film some of it today, but of course when the project is all said and done, when everything is in place, then I will, edit it and then publish it. So be on the lookout for that. And then the same subscriber, she also mentioned a good idea about doing a stitch of the week video, doing how I do my stitch of the week videos, and then she suggested to do like a small little, like a dishcloth or any kind of little project that's incorporating the stitch of the week, so that way what you learn like during the beginning of the week you can master at the end of the week, which I think is a good idea. Because that dishcloth tutorial I did, that was using one of the stitch of the weeks. I don't know if that sounds right. Stitches of the week. There we go. That sounds a lot better. All grammatically correct. And I'm still working on my store, my online shop. I mean, so far I've only sold one item. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought I would get a lot more traffic, like a lot more foot traffic through there, because again, I have several blankets and scarves and projects that I'm sure a lot of people would like. Maybe some people don't like amigurumi, or they don't like blankets, or just whatever it is, or maybe my advertising is off kilter, or maybe I need to up my advertising skills, I guess, so to speak. But then one of my other followers, he also mentioned through my Instagram page that he was having issues selling things on Shopify, and so that he was going to switch over to another platform. So I thought, okay, maybe, yeah, so go ahead and switch over and then let me know how that turns out, because if you're having bad luck with one platform, but then some people have better luck with another, then it's a no-brainer. You want to go with the other platform because it's going to give you more foot traffic and more revenue, so to speak. But again, there are costs involved too with switching over, because the one platform he wants to go to is Etsy. I'm sure y'all are heard of Etsy. A lot of people use Etsy for their online stores and things like that. So I guess there's like certain rules and protocols and fees and so forth associated with Etsy that you don't see with Shopify. So I'm still doing my research on that too before I switch over. So if anyone's had better success with Etsy or better success with Shopify, let me know what I can do to improve my foot traffic and how to sell off my crochet projects, because I do want to get them sold and out of my house, because I'm running out of space and I want to make room for more projects and buy more yarn and keep my channel afloat. I mean, because again, even though I am an affiliate for a couple different companies, I haven't seen any revenue yet, because again, maybe I'm not well known yet throughout the YouTube community, or I'm just not putting myself out there enough or something like that. So again, if anybody out there has had better luck with that, let me know what I can do to better improve the channel, better improve my foot traffic, better improve the number of subscribers I have, which at the date of this recording is 223 subscribers right now, so I'm grateful for that. And I still have to do my 200 subscriber showcase or extravaganza video, so I may do that as a video, or I may just do it as a live feed and just like, you know, shoot off with the hip or whatever, something like this format. All right, so I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. Don't think I have much else. And kind of the reason that I'm kind of wanting to get monetized is because right now I'm unemployed, and I managed to squirrel away money from my other jobs and my 401k and all that. Of course, I haven't touched my 401k because I can't touch until I'm around my 60s anyway, so I'm not going to touch that at all. And then I have money squirreled away, so I'm good on that front. But I do want to make some extra money so I can support my yarn habit and support the channel and stuff like that. So, and I've been job hunting, and it's just I want to make sure that it's something I want to do, not just because, oh, I need the money. I'm just gonna just like jump into something head first and not think of the consequences or weigh the pros and cons and things like that. So I also thought about maybe going after the certified crochet instructor certificate. I did a little research on there. I think there's some costs involved with that, and then there's some requirements that you have to do to obtain the certificate and so forth. I mean, I enjoy teaching. I enjoy helping people out as far as if they're stuck on a problem or stuck on like, or how do I do this or how do I do that. I would have to say my teaching method is pretty good for this type of affair, but yeah, I'm still gonna do my Tunisian Thursday thing, so I just haven't formulated that together yet in my head of how I want to do it. If I want to do like, I think I might do like a stitch of the week for Tunisian crochet, or because there was a project on the carrying cakes yarn that for my last scarf I worked for another scarf, even though it's knitted, but I would maybe apply the Tunisian aspects to that, so that way, that's because I want to see if I can do it, which I'm pretty sure I can, but it's be another challenge. And usually when I set my mind on a goal, I don't stop until I achieve it, just like with my craft room. Let's see, I'm trying to think. So to my fellow viewers, what do you like? What kind of tools do you like to use when you crochet? What type of crochet hooks do you use? What type of scissors do you use? What type of yarn do you like to use? Just basically anything that helps you achieve your crochet projects faster, or just allows you to achieve your projects the way you want them to come out. See, I'm almost done with this last round of. And then answer to your question, in case you're wondering about the yarn dances, I just did it out of boredom, really, because I thought, let me try something different that no one else has been doing. So usually I think about what kind of dance I want to do, what song to go with the dance, and what's applicable for the dance and so forth, and just have fun with it. Just let the music just take me. So I'm a certified goofball, so that's probably another of why I decided to do the yarn dance videos, just because I'm a goofball. It's like to have fun. See, I'm not a stick in the mud, so. Let's see here. Okay, about done with this round here. That's coming along real nice. I like the like ombre effect between the ocean and the turquoise yarn for this. Snip off some of these excess ends here too. Gotta be careful not to snip my fingers or snip the actual project. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna conclude the video for this right now because I'm just running out of things to talk about right now. So I'm sure as more comes, I will bring that to you. But so let me know in the comments, like if there's any other further questions you have about me or why I'm doing this whole crocheting endeavor, this whole YouTube endeavor, anything like that, or just to chew the fat, pretty much. I mean. So, again, I'd like to thank all of my subscribers who have been loyal and supportive of the channel and supportive of my efforts and my endeavors. And I hope to get a lot more subscribers because, again, that will be a key factor in becoming monetized, which would be freaking fantastic. And, of course, I just want to see if I can do it, which I'm sure I can if I just keep being in your face all the time, so to speak. I think that's what the key is. You just have to be in everyone's faces all the time. So it's like nag and nag and nag and nag until they say, okay, enough. Okay, so, well, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but kind of like the squeaky wheel gets the grease sort of adage. So, all right, so hope everyone's day is going well today. Grab your crochet hooks, grab that yarn, and create something beautiful today. Oh, a stray cat going across the yard there. Yes, my neighborhood, we get stray cats a lot. I mean, there's a couple ones that come around. And my one neighbor's cat is a beautiful fluffy cat. It's not a Maine Coon. I don't know if it's a Norwegian cat or a Norwegian forest cat, but it's got that long hair fluffiness to it. But I love cats. Cats are so freaking awesome. I mean, I'm not saying I don't like dogs either, but I'm more of a cat person. All right, so again, sorry I got sidetracked. Grab your crochet hooks, grab that yarn, and create something beautiful today. You gotta spread love and not hate. Help each other out. Love each other. Be there for one another. Help each other out when you can. I think I mentioned that already, but help each other out where you can. Enjoy the time on Earth while you still have it, because you never know when things can go worse. Because Murphy's Law. If you know, you know. And we gotta freaking yarn bomb this place. And we got to spread creativity and beauty and love throughout the universe because we all need it right now. And to all of my fellow pagan viewers, blessed be. Merry part and merry meet again. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for this, guys. So have a great day. Get your tasks done. And on that note, take care of yourself and each other.